Just before we talk about the game, just think it's important to acknowledge what's really been going, what went on last night with regards to the Typhoon. Obviously, a lot of publicity around the rugby side of things. But when we woke up this morning, 19 people were killed in the Typhoon. There was a further 12 people missing or still missing. And we talked about that as a team. Sometimes those sorts of things can be overwhelming, but I think that came out in the match today, particularly in times when it was really, really tough. So whilst we're celebrating about our victory, there are a lot of people that are really suffering, and that really helped our players today. I thought the Scottish team were unbelievable in all parts of the game. They took it to us right from the start. They scored physically. In some parts of the game, they outplayed us and outmatched us. But it's the tenacity, I guess, of our team at crucial parts of the test that paid dividends for us. And then we were just able to hang on to the very end. And I think a lot of that is to do with what's going on inside our own camp, and the fact that we're playing a home World Cup. We all feel and see the amount of support that is behind our team, and that's incredibly motivational. Thank you.
Okay, first question in the front.
スポーツライターの斉藤ですが、ジョセヘッドコーチにお願いします。素晴らしいアタッキングラグビーでしたが、試合のゲームプランはどういうものだったのかということと、それがどのように勝因に結びついたか教えてください。
I think the word attack is often reflected in the way when you have the ball, but we're an attacking team on defence as well, and quite often I'm blurred about where the tries came from, but what I remember is a real attacking defence line that created opportunities through turnovers that created tries. So there's two sides to that. Our game plan really was to keep the ball as much as we possibly could, to control the speed of the game, to attack certain areas of and certain players, to try and get them behind, because when we felt that we did that, then we could put them under pressure. And the trouble with that is Scotland really met us there and turned that game against us, certainly in the first 10 minutes, and scored the first try. I guess with persistence and the confidence to continue and trust the plan is what saw us through. And you really have to take the players need to take that credit through trusting each other and trusting what we've trained and planned and all that sort of stuff. And I think that was the difference in the end. And then in the last sort of 2 or 3 minutes, it was a test match that we didn't want to lose. And it's those things like the people that we're playing for that really help us in those dying minutes.
Question down the back.
Jamie, Michael, many congratulations from the rest of us in the Asian Rugby Football Union for becoming the first Asian team to qualify for the knockout stages. Well done. The question is, how much has 2016 to 2019 helped in terms of being part of the Super Rugby competition? And how much has that helped you to get where you are right now? And being not part of the competition from next year, how will that affect adversely or not?
I think there have been a lot of things that have happened in the last 3 years, and a big one of those is the Super Rugby competition. It's allowed our players to get exposure to all of the athletes that you see at this tournament, all of the guys, particularly in the Southern Hemisphere. So what that does, we struggled in that tournament as a rugby team for lots of reasons. But what we did do is we got exposed to the level of rugby that we would expect at the World Cup, and it's been a real winner for us. The other thing is that they start to rub shoulders, play against the same players that are in the tournament. And indirectly, it's quite a hard thing to explain. You're losing every weekend. You're still getting experience. You're still getting to understand what travelling and playing being the professional is like. And that's what our players good. This year we were able to control that a little bit and take them, or use the Super Rugby competition to our benefit, and the benefit is now paying off at the World Cup.
Alistair Himmer, AFP. Michael, when Scotland were coming back at you at the end, you got the team into a huddle behind the posts. I was wondering what you said to the players, or what was being said by the leaders of the team then.
I just brought the guys in and said, look, they have a lot of momentum. How are we going to stop their momentum? So we came up with a plan. Once we got the ball back, they will create momentum and build momentum. So that was the key message at that point.
A question to Jamie and Michael. What does it mean to you guys to have qualified for the quarterfinals, and what do you think the limits are on this team? How far do you think you can go?
This is great for Japanese rugby, not just Japanese rugby, rugby in Asia, Tier 2 rugby. So, for us to qualify for the quarterfinals, now we're shifting the goalpost. So, I'm not too sure who we've got next, but we'll start next week and we'll go from there. I mean, the key to our victories are preparation, being aligned from the start of the week. Same consistent messages, so we'll do that, and we're not coming out next week to have a good game and lose. We're coming out to win.
集英社松瀬です。マイケル選手お願いします。日本ラグビーの新しい歴史を作ったんですけど、その作ったということに対しての今のお気持ちと、なぜそれが実現できたか、一番の理由というのは何でしょうか。
一番の理由は、信じること、ベリーフが、一番のきっかけだと思います。2011年から振り返ってみると、自分たちが対戦する相手がだんだんレベル上がってきて、手をワンとやる回数も増えてきて、スーパーラグビーの影響がすごく大きくて、そして、コーチがどんどん良くなってきています。今回の、ジェイミーの下でやってきて、もう本当に、日本ラグビー帰ってきたおかげはやっぱりジェイミーの指導、ジェイミーの、指導とコーチ陣、だと思います。
Yeah, Jamie, just to sort of follow up what Michael just said, I know you don't like talking about players. Can you talk a little bit about the coaches? Because the skill and pace in that first half, and then the mental toughness and the self-belief and fitness in the second half was something special today.
I'll try to. The first thing, I find when you're trying to build a team up, it doesn't happen overnight. So we had some really tough games along the way. I personally found the hardest thing really was working out how to work within the parameters that were given to me, and that took a little bit of time. But once I'd sorted that out, then I knew which direction I could go, and I had no doubt with my coaching team. I'll just talk a little bit about Tony Brown. I think he's a fabulous rugby coach. I think everybody understands he has that ability, and then together as a team, we obviously complement each other in terms of how we approach the players and the boys, and what type of environment we create. And a lot of that is to do with giving the players the responsibility, giving them accountability around their performance, and then just trusting them really and letting them go out and play footy. And then when they get into a situation like you saw tonight, where there was extreme confidence and belief, I'm going to take you back a couple of years, and that wasn't quite right. So you've got to go through a bit of pain, and the players got to go through a bit of pain, and then you go through the coaching process. But eventually, it comes if you believe in what you're doing. So that's Tony's obviously the guy I've coached with a long time. I have to acknowledge Shin Hasegawa, who's our scrum coach, and also our maul coach. So you don't often. He doesn't get a lot of kudos around our set piece, but that's been our key work on for the last 3 years. And we always know when we play Tier 1 teams, the first area they come for is the set piece. They'll target our scrum and they'll target our line out, particularly our maul defence, and they'll try and squeeze and put pressure there first. And in the last 4 or 5 games, we've done okay there, and that's allowed us to create the way we want to play the game of rugby. And you've witnessed what that can be like if we can match better or hold the bigger set pieces in world rugby.
Good one at the front. One question.
Michael, on your right. Jamie talked about the emotion of the Typhoon and how that sort of dripped into your game. Can you just offer a player's perspective on that and how you delivered that in your messages to the team?
Before the match started in the team hotel, and Jamie touched on it, and the players already knew from conversations this morning. This game was more than just us. There was a lot of people out there that are suffering from the Typhoon. So, first of all, for this game to happen, and there was a lot of people that did a lot of hard work. There were guys up last night out with sponges, sweeping the ground. So, this is just another opportunity. We're grateful for the opportunity to inspire Japan, and at this time, Japan needs that, and I think we showed that for 80 minutes tonight.
NHK の中村です。ジェイミーヘッドコーチに伺います。歴史的な勝利を挙げたわけですけども、ジェイミーヘッドコーチは日本代表の課題としてメンタル面のことを挙げていました。日本の選手たち、今日の勝利でメンタル面の成長というのをどのように評価されるんでしょうか。また決勝トーナメントに向けてどのようなメンタリティが大事になるとお考えでしょうか。
Yes, I do think the Japanese mentality in this team has changed. My definition of a mentality is what's natural and what we do every day, whether we're playing rugby or we're just waking up and being a good guy. And it's just the way we think and the way we are, and I felt that we've had to change that so they can get the best out of their rugby. Players understand that if you're going to be a good rugby player, then it sort of lives with you and it has to be with you all the time. And that took a bit to change. But I think, I don't think our boys understand that now and now exercise that every day. So in our team environment, all I'm doing really as the coach now is just reminding, and then it's Michael's job, along with his teammates, to ensure that that mentality is right. It's going to have to go another level tomorrow, because next week we play South Africa.
Okay, well, final question down there at the back.
Jamie, can you get a sense of how the nation is getting behind this team, and do you allow the team to ride that all the way through to this quarter-final, or do you try and keep a lid on their emotions this week?
We call it noise. Well, I call it noise, which is basically everything from, walking into a hotel and having hundreds to thousands of people clapping you, walking through Tokyo Station and having 50 people, parting their ways like you're royalty. And it's a little bit different, especially for me, from a small town in New Zealand. So, and I think it's different for us as a rugby team. And so we call all of that noise, and if we're honest with what we need to do earlier in the week, we need to limit that as much as possible. So we discussed that with Michael and our leaders, and we talk about how that is not going to help us early in the week when we're preparing. But then we embrace it at the end of the week because it's hugely motivational when we understand that we're representing a nation. So that's how we're dealing with it. And the players, I guess, are buying into it. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Jamie. Everybody, the mixdown opens very shortly. Please make your way down. Thank you.